souls, to this sacred gathering for Spring Equinox. Whether you're joining us live or watching the replay, trust that you were meant to be here. This is a time of balance where day and night are equal, where we stand between winter's rest and spring's awakening. And today we are going to honor this shift within ourselves and our lives.
So we'd like you to take a deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. We're so excited that you're here today. We hope that you're beginning to feel the shift of renewal and expansion. It was a really heavy lunar eclipse that we just came through, and we're so excited that spring's here, and it really is this opportunity to experience new beginnings. So thank you so much for being here today. We're going to support clearing away what no longer serves, and we're going to set some intentions for what we're growing and what we're celebrating and calling in for this energy of spring. And this spring equinox is about balancing light and dark, and calling in, but also resting in what you've called in, and that receiving and creating. So it's really about bringing in the balance of all things divine masculine, divine feminine. So we're going to start with a clearing, and then we're going to talk a little bit about spring equinox. So thank you so much for being here.
And so just close your eyes. Take a deep breath and relax and just allow yourself to just sink in. You're here for a reason. You're here to release and clear. Taking a deep breath with that. And then the exhale, we're just going to clear some stagnant energy in our body. You may feel like you need to shift your body around and move a little, and that's fine. And then I just want you to place one hand onto your heart and a hand onto your belly. And then I want you to breathe in through your nose for 4 counts into your heart chakra. And then just kind of hold it there for a minute. And then breathe out through your belly, really allowing it to go out. And then with this next breath, breathe very slowly into your heart chakra. And then imagine breathing in the fresh energy of spring. And when you breathe out in the exhale, imagine that you're releasing all the heaviness or stuckness of winter. And there may be a sound associated, maybe a movement. Okay to shake, okay to release your hands too. And then I want you to imagine a golden light or a white light moving through your body from your crown, through the top of your head, all the way down through your root chakra, through your sitting bones. And it's just clearing, moving up and down, clearing out anything that you no longer need. And keep breathing in that light. And then breathing out all that this breath is and this light is releasing for you. And I just want you to keep the cleansing breath going as we do this process, because it's going to clear out and give you energy. So not only are you letting go, you're also bringing in energy to light up the areas in your body that need extra love and support. So breathe into those areas if you have any discomfort, breathing in light. And then you'll just release that discomfort or any pain or stuckness you may feel. And that is what spring is about. It's about planting seeds of light, nurturing with light, and allowing our fullest selves to grow strong through the season and to take in all of the light we need in order to create and manifest and move forward in our new year. I like to think of spring as a new year for myself. It's when I feel most connected to the earth and wanting to plant my garden, but also plant the seeds for my future. But before we do that, I want you to picture in your hand or both hands a dark seed. It could look like anything to you. It could be a bigger seed, a smaller seed, it could be a pile of seeds. But what this seed is for you are all of these stories that you've been holding near and dear to you that don't serve you and you know you're ready to release. Maybe it's a fear that you're so ready to let go of and step out of. Maybe it's just something that you're ready to shed, a pattern. Maybe it's a behavior. Maybe it's a word that you have a kind of a toxic mantra that you want to put into the seed and just let go of. So I want you to take a minute and see the seed or the pile of seeds in your hand. And I want you to just allow yourself to infuse them with all of these things. So whether they're limiting beliefs or fears, or just not feeling connected to your higher self or to God or to the universe or whatever calls you, this is just going to take those negative feelings and you're just going to put them into the seed. So take a minute and do that, breathing in the light as you go. Breathing out all of those things into the seed, and it may change. It may change in color and shape, and that's okay. Just allow. You're just going to allow all of the negativity, all of the things you're ready to let go of, anything that you're just so ready to shed or so ready to give up or so ready to change. All of those can go right into the seed. And just keep breathing in the light and then breathing out into the seed. Give it a couple more deep breaths. And now I want you to picture in this next breath, you are going to bring in all the light you can muster into the breath, into your breath and into your heart chakra. And then as you breathe out, I want you to blow on the seed. And as you do, you're going to watch it dissolve into dust. It's going to go into dust and it's going to just fall into the earth and become something new. So when a deep breath in, and then we're going to blow and watch it dissolve into dust. Maybe we're going to take the rest of the residue of that and just take it off our hand. And we're just going to let that go and it's being transmuted into something else. If you need to do a few more breaths to really get it off your hands and let it go into the earth and be transmuted, go ahead and do that now. And when you're ready, just open your eyes and we will begin our self-reflection and journaling.
Thank you so much, Jamie. That was really lovely. Now that we've spent some time just being present, clearing some of what we no longer need, we want to move through and calling in balance. The spring equinox is a moment of perfect equilibrium. It's equal light and dark. And to make it clear, spring equinox is next week, not this week. So if you're listening to this on spring equinox, this is a great time to be pulling in that energy. And so it's an opportunity to honor yourself and honor all of the light that you have within that you get to share with what is coming through on the outside. Um, we carry our light through winter, and then as spring becomes clear and the flowers start to come out, we start to be able to get access to that sun again and bringing in that balance. So we'd love you to take a moment today and maybe ask yourself, where in life are you seeking more balance? It's a great thing to meditate or journal on. You know, I think sometimes it's good to, on a seasonal basis, really check in with yourself and ask, where am I having balance? Where am I not having balance? What things in my current existence are working for me and what is not? And then asking what kind of things are bringing you light? What kind of things are lighting you up? And then maybe what What kind of things maybe aren't working so great for you? What kind of things are pulling that shadow in for you that aren't bringing in the light that you want? And the last journal would be asking yourself how you can embrace the duality of your own light and your own darkness. So, calling in the sacredness of balance. What does that look like to you? What does it look like to balance your divine feminine and divine masculine? What does it look like to balance your light and dark? What does it look like to balance some of those positive things that you're calling in and maybe some of those negative things that you're speaking because you are scared or fearful or maybe even just seeing the world as it is, right? So there's these aspects of understanding and being okay with, how can you say I'm okay? Or how can I bring more balance to myself? So it's a really great thing, stepping into your full light and embodying to say, like, oh my God, step into your light and embody. But like, how do we do that? So, what are some things that we can do? So Jamie just brought us through a meditation, and we wanted to talk a little bit about some of the practices that we can do. Do you want to start with the first one, Jamie? What's a good practice?
Oh, to bring balance or stepping
Yes.
into it. I just like to check in with my body and do breath work just to start. Something gentle, breathing in through the heart chakra, just how as we did, and sending light through my body, especially to those areas that feel stuck or maybe we have ignored for a while, and just kind of giving it attention. It's not about at this moment when you first start about moving it unless you feel called to, but it's more like, hey, my hip kind of has been hurting a little bit, or my back is feeling tight. Let's bring some light in and let's do some breathing. But then, even emotionally, I think you can use this type of breath work too, to just go, okay, I'm feeling kind of stuck right now in my life, or I'm frustrated. And where do I feel that in my body? I feel that in my heart. Okay, I'm going to breathe into my heart and just be present. And it's really about being present and just grasping the idea of that nothing else is as important as this moment right now. And I think that's the most greatest gift you can have to find balance in your life, is when you can just be in the moment and really allow that moment to expand and your awareness of that moment to expand with it. That will give you the first step to really having a balanced moment in your life. So with the journal questions, where am I so imbalanced that I need to focus on to bring more balance? So then how would I do that? I would do that by being present in the moment, finding out where I feel it in my body, and then bringing some breath and light to that area. That's step one for me. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, I really love to move. I've been a ballerina most of my life.
Mhm.
And so I've always unknowingly went to movement. And so, one of the things that we do for spring equinox is sun salutations. And so there's been times when I have done, sun salutations, and I believe you do 58 per season. And so spring, I think we're up to, I don't know, be like 108 or something like that you do for spring. But the point is really just the ability to be able to move your body. And I think not everyone resonates with yoga. And one of the best ways to really move your body is to just dance. I mean, most of us know some kind of way to move our body to shake back and forth, or to move our hips, or to maybe have like a dance party with our kids. And I think that we have lost a big part of understanding that that movement, that shaking, that moving our booty, shaking our hips, like all of those kinds of things are an opportunity not just for us to dance, but an opportunity for us to be in our body, and an opportunity for us to let go of maybe some of the things that aren't serving us and call in the things that we are. And I think a lot of times as humans, we don't realize that we vibrate at a certain level. And so sometimes when we are really working hard to go onto a new path, or we're really working hard to call in a new life, or this new timeline, or these new pieces into our life that we know are going to be big things. It can be really hard to grab onto those things. And so I think when we allow ourselves to dance and shake it off and just be silly and fun, we're allowing our vibration to clear out. And really, what we're calling in is a new vibration. We're saying, hey, I'm in this current space and this current vibration that isn't working for me. And I want to call in this new thing. And I know that by creating that new thing, it's going to be a new vibration for me. It doesn't have to be something really big, it can be something small, like, maybe you're going to clean out a space, or it can be something really big, like maybe you're getting a new car, or you're going to get a new job, or you're trying to move somewhere. But you also will sometimes like change friends, because that vibration. And so what dancing does is it allows the vibration that isn't working for you to kind of like shut off the skin, like shaking, moving the body, breathing, saying, I'm here for it. It's allowing that vibration to like go back to the earth, and then you're able to like call back in that light and call in those things that you're calling in and step into those higher timelines, because you're able to start feeling the vibration of the thing that you're calling in, because you're looking at it, you're experiencing it, you're dreaming about it, you're feeling it. You're not being frustrated and unsatisfied by this thing that's going on right here, because you're able to just like dance in the current moment. I
Right.
also want to mention one other really great way just to process emotions in general. And I think as women, we don't really always understand about sacred rage.
Mm.
And we have this sacred rage and we have this sacred anger that is available to us. And I think sometimes we don't know where to give it. And we feel like we always have to give it in like a sacred way. But there is nothing wrong with going into your house and rage cleaning.
That's
There's
true.
nothing wrong with
Agreed.
going out onto the farm and like dealing with the things that are in front of you that maybe you haven't been able to deal with for a little bit, because you've got all this energy and these urges and this ability to be able to
But
go
it's
do something.
mhm.
So this time of balancing is an opportunity to look at the things that are around us and say, how can I move my body today to move this energy? And, obviously it's easy to access something like dance. It's not as easy to access something like cleaning, maybe, right? But
Yeah.
sometimes we just have that drive, and I think we maybe don't feel comfortable or know how to express it. And so expressing it in a way that is going to maybe feed back to my family or make me really productive for a day or two is great, because I think that that productivity allows our bodies to move, especially as we're moving into springtime. We're going to feel like we want more productivity and we want more things. So, um, it's better to take, right, that anger and frustration and pain and put it towards some cool projects and some things that we're
Yeah.
doing.
Agreed.
Um,
Plus,
and
you'll
he,
feel the urge to move too. I think
right.
especially if you act on it, like not in a dangerous way, it's kind of like a productive use of passion and anger can be like
Hmm.
two sides of the same coin. And you
Yes.
are feeling that sense of anger or that kind of like, oh, frustration, but then you're going to flip the coin and go to the positivity of it and actually use it in passionate purpose. So, like,
Hmm.
I love the idea of cleaning out a space. Even just putting your effort into, I'm going to choose my closet and I'm going to get rid of stuff and I'm going to reorganize and I'm going to do this. That is a very good way to process emotions. It's an excellent way to do it. And it's underrated.
Hmm.
And I think we're so afraid to feel the anger that we suppress, and it becomes a cycle of shame and guilt, and then back up, and the cycle.
Hmm.
Instead of just going, you know what, I'm feeling like shit. I feel like frustration and anger, and life isn't just doing what I wanted to do right now. Well, I'm gonna go to, I'm gonna go take my holy water, and I'm gonna go just spray my house up with holy water,
Hmm.
just freshen it up. Even one little simple step, and use it in a productive way and you start
Yeah.
to feel better. You do. Your anger turns to, okay, I have energy to do more things.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's a great, entry into like some things that maybe support you in spring. Obviously, we know a lot about spring cleaning, but why do we call it spring cleaning? Why is it perfect at spring equinox? I mean, this is the time to open those windows, air out that air, right? It's
Mhm.
the time to, get all the spider webs and the crevices and the things that maybe you haven't cleaned in winter because things are waking up. But
Mhm.
also, it's a perfect opportunity. I live in Missouri, and everything is waking up. All the daffodils are out now, and just this morning we had a crazy wind last night, and just this morning you look out, and several of the trees have now gotten their flowers, and
Oh,
you're
wow.
starting to see, the first awakenings of spring.
Mhm.
And in the feng shui, arena, February is actually part of spring. And so spring equinox is kind of in a weird arena when it comes to that chi energy that we're receiving during spring equinox, because we are receiving the balancing of day and light, but really the aspect of like what's waking up in that wood energy and that snake energy, and that feng shui and the chi aspect is going to, call in a different energy, and so it's good to have somewhere to produce it, to look at it, to, give life to.
And
So,
that kind of made me think if you haven't watched our snake ceremony for the snake year, we have some good processes in there and journal prompts that will help with the spring equinox transition too, because
yeah.
some of us are feeling the drive to like spring ahead and move forward and create and manifest. Yet there's still some lingering things that are kind of feeling sludgy and like kind of dense. And
Hmm.
the snake energy will be that way all year long. You're going to shed the skin, but if you can learn to slither through the skin or slither through these mucky places and process them in a very effective way, then you'll have a better year and you'll be able to use that energy in a great way and manifest in a great way. So go watch that video if you haven't.
Yeah.
It's available on YouTube.
And some great ways to call in that harmony, like we said, opening windows, putting on music,
Yeah.
dancing around, breathing, any kind of breathing that you can do, any kind of working with the earth. So gardening, working within your own garden. If you don't have the ability to garden, do some potted plants in the house, do something where you just can be in the dirt a little bit and be able to experience that. And then the last thing would be being in nature as much as possible. So as the sun and the light is changing, it's really great to be working with that and being outside, being in nature, allowing our bodies to have that natural rhythm to the season and what's happening. So we do have one last way that we love to celebrate spring equinox. And so it is a seed planting initiation ritual. Um, it's not really initiation ritual as much as it is
Intention ritual just for
an
your new
intention.
year.
Yes, thank you. An intention
Welcome.
ritual. And so do you want to talk a little bit about some ways that we do that, Jamie?
Yeah, I do. I really love the idea of actually taking a seed, and it's metaphorical and it's physical too, and doing a ritual around it, including and not limited to like listing things that I want to manifest in an upcoming year on a piece of paper and planting it with the seed and then nurturing the seed to growth. And then not only is it growing what I planted, but it's also growing all the dreams and wishes I have and goals for this year. I think it's a really great way to get present, but also to kind of visualize what you want, because I think there's a piece of that um we miss a lot, is that we do the magic and then we put it out there, but there's also the follow-up. So every time you go to nurture your seed, you're imagining or seeing all the manifestations that are coming from the growth of this plant or whatever you planted. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah, one of the big ways I've been working with this season is called a Jericho rose. And I don't know, did I talk about, I haven't, this is what it looks like.
Mhm.
But it starts out as a very small little ball and as a like completely dead plant is what it looks like. And then when you water it,
Oh, wow.
it becomes this, and it has a beautiful scented smell of water. And so I like to use the water in springtime spells and things like that. People will, put water in this, and as it opens for the first time, then they'll use that water for special things because I use this in my spells and my intentions. So I will put my intention into what I want to bring to the plant, to the flower, to the Jericho rose. And then Then I will pour usually my special moon water over it as I'm also working with those intentions. And then I will watch over the next few days how the plant will rise and gain its beauty. And they're meant to be completely dried out after you do that. So it's really cool process to be able to work with. And it only takes them like 4 or 5 days to dry out. So then you can like work with a new intention. And
You take it out
um,
of the water and let it dry.
yeah, I'll show you real quick. I have, let me get my one that
I
is out of
want
the
one.
water.
I want one. I've never done this. I want one just to experience the magic of it, of itself. It's cool. Sounds really cool. And while she's doing that, another way you can bring in your intentions for spring is to just spend some time with your journal, reflecting on the past, the whole year. Go back a whole year and look at all of the things you accomplished this year and all the things you wanted to accomplish but are still in motion. And then which ones do you want to keep doing and working on and manifesting, and which ones you don't? Because we change. We're always changing, and our desires, hopes, and wishes and dreams change too. So it's good to
Hmm.
have self reflection, find things that work, what don't, what we want to work on, where we want to focus, and then have a journal, and that we can go to the next, spring equinox, look back and continue that growth process.
Hmm. This is also, if you homeschool, a really great way to check your rhythm. Like, hey, is my rhythm going good? Is this working for me? And I think sometimes just in life, we're afraid to like change our schedule. But I work with about 150 people a week in coaching and in bettering their life. And one of the things that I often find that I'm reminding them is that we need to change our schedules sometimes on a weekly basis, because sometimes on a weekly or bi-weekly basis, our rhythms and our schedules are changing. So it's always good to be reflecting upon what is working there and what's not. And I think sometimes as moms, we feel like we have to do it all. I have to do
Yeah.
every sport thing that my kid wants to do or every,
Oh,
activity. And this is not necessarily productive for them or ourselves. And so it's, again, going back to that nature aspect. So back to the plant real quick, just because
yeah.
here. So this is what it looks like.
Oh, okay. That's dry.
Yeah, and it takes
Oh,
about 3 to 4 days to get to this point. And you can leave it like this all season if you want. You can just store it and put it away like this if you'd like, and then pull it out only once a year and use it if you want, or you can use it all the time, but because it's
it's
still
just
alive.
dormant. Oh, wow.
Uh-huh. Yeah. And Jericho is known in a lot of different, I was gonna say like Jamie and I don't just like practice witchcraft. We actually practice mystery school teachings and, ceremonies and rituals and things that have been passed down. And in many myths and stories, there are stories of Jericho, different, things that were about overcoming
Right.
and about new beginnings. And
Healing.
so yeah,
Mhm.
it starts out like that, and
Wow.
so this is what it starts out like, and then this is what
Oh my goodness. That's cool.
it
Love
it
that.
grows into.
Love it. That's really cool.
And it's green, and they've also been known to flower. So right now you can see that like it's still curled, the tips are still curled, and so those tips will go completely ferruled out like down here, like these who
Mhm.
that aren't.
Yeah.
And then to take it out of the water, and then you let it dry.
That's cool. I love it.
And so yeah, it's a really cool plant, but it's very popular time to use right now. Partly because, we've got Easter coming up, and we just had you know, different religious holidays like Ash
Wednesday.
Wednesday and Fat Tuesday
When?
and different, yes. And so there's all these different things going on. And the Jericho rose is actually a very popular um, plant to use in sacred ceremony during this time. And so, it's just a really fun way to incorporate springtime and plants, but not have to necessarily work with dirt and all the things. So, yeah.
And so I'd like to just mention, if any of you want to learn more about these types of processes, rituals, ceremonies, we offer what's called Lunar Alchemy. It's our membership. It's a monthly membership where you can join us every month for 2 events, one live, one recorded. You could also join us live with our full moon, new moon events, which is on our events page on our website, and just pay a nominal fee to join us to learn more rituals related to moon magic or just seasonal magic. We just want to get as much information out to you, and hope that you will join us along the journey.
I think that it's really important at this time to be able to build our sisterhood and call in the divine feminine. And if you're feeling called to learn more with us and you really like what we're doing here, then please come check us out. We'd love to hear from you. And don't be afraid to also comment below if you're watching the recording, if this meditation was good for you, how you're celebrating spring equinox. Let us know if you'd like more of these. We do a free monthly ceremony, just like this. And then we also have every Tuesday, not every Tuesday, but we have on Tuesdays available full moon and new moon ceremonies. And if you'd like to join us for those, like Jamie was saying, they are really awesome, and we do them based on each month. So we hope that you will come and join us there. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for joining us. Happy spring.